Honorable Men Discord. Brinks truck robbery in Montgomery. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's get straight to it. So the reason for my thumbnail is because this is a modern day Dead Presidents movie. Not quite, but I'm calling it that because it's the robbery of a Brinks truck. I don't remember the last time I heard of a Brinks truck being robbed. If you have, let me know in the comments. But I can't even think of a time that a Brinks truck was robbed in my lifetime, to my recollection. In any regard, the theme of the thumbnail was based on the Dead Presidents movie, which was shot by the Hughes brothers back in 1995, if I'm not mistaken. But let me be correct on that, because 1995, yeah, by the Hughes brothers. And if you haven't seen that movie, just do yourself a favor, look it up. If you have a Fire Stick, look it up. I think it's a great movie. I might, in 2025, it may seem dated, but I think it's still a great movie. Great actors. But what we're here to talk about is not acting. It's a real robbery. And let's take a look at it, and then we're going to discuss it further.
Now, another armored truck robbery in the Philadelphia region, this time just outside the city in Elkins Park. Police say two men held up a Brinks employee at gunpoint and got away with nearly $1 million. Our Eva Anderson is live at the scene with what we know tonight. Good evening, Eva.
Good evening, Don. We are at Old York Road and Cheltenham Avenue, as you mentioned, just over the Philadelphia border in Elkins Park. And right behind me is the shopping center where police say it all happened. We want to get you right to this stunning surveillance video. Police say at around 10:30 this morning, two men robbed a Brinks employee at gunpoint before taking off with a huge sum of money, between $700,000 and $800,000. They say the Brinks employee had been driving alone and was about to make a delivery at the bank inside H Mart when she was ambushed. Police say one man had a rifle and the other had a pistol, and they made off with the money and the employee's gun. A security guard just inside the building at the time describes the moment a customer ran in screaming about the robbery.
Sir, it's a gun. So I went outside and I found out that the Brinks employee was robbed. And I wish that she had more help. I wish she had a partner with her in the truck. Stop being solo. There's a lot going on around the city. They're robbing like left and right.
Again, here is that security video. Police say they're working with their state and federal partners to investigate whether this may be connected to four similar armed robberies in the Philadelphia region since June. They say they found the getaway car, which they say is a black Acura with tinted windows, but they haven't found the suspects. They believe the car may have been in the lot waiting for the victim to arrive, and thankfully she was not harmed. We reached out to Brinks specifically to ask about their staffing policies, as we found it shocking and concerning that there was only one person in the armored vehicle at the time. The police said that they were concerned about that as well. Brinks declined to comment on the matter. Reporting live in Elkins Park, Eva Anderson, CBS News, Philadelphia.
All right, Eva, thank you for that update. It bears mentioning one more time, this is the latest in a string of robberies targeting armored trucks, at least 5 since June. Unlike the last 4 that all happened within city limits, today's once again happening outside the border in Elkins Park.
They're saying one person in the Brinks truck. So I'll be honest with you, I'm confused. Is that the one person that we saw in the video that got robbed? Or is it there was a driver and then there was a person that went to retrieve the money? If there's only one person for the entire trips that they had to make, that's insane. I'm assuming it was a driver and the one person that gets out to retrieve the money. I've never heard of a Brinks truck pull up with just one person. If that's the case, that employee could potentially sue. If that's the case, because I've never seen anything like that. I've always seen 2 people. Especially when you're doing pickups from ATMs, there's usually 2 people, which mean sometimes I would assume there's one that's still in the truck, or maybe it's the 2 people. The driver comes out along with the person who has to retrieve the funds or drop off the funds. In any regard, This is insane. As you can see, there was in total 5, 1 in August, and let me see, 2 in July, 2 in June. And on a separate news network, they showed this same surveillance footage, and they said that the guys were caught. Now I don't know if they're confusing the video footage with a previous date, but clearly these two individuals who did the robbery were not caught. Now, as of this recording, they were not caught. If by the time this airs they're caught, then so be it. They deserve to be caught. But again, the crazy thing about all of this is many times the people that are doing this are fairly young. Maybe they're not young. But I'm going to say something that goes without saying, and I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but half of these robberies are just ridiculous. Many of you guys are just lazy out there and just don't want to get a job. I know it's enticing to get that quick money, but for what? Half of the time these bills can be tracked. Sometimes they have die packs, especially when you're dealing with banks. But what exactly are you going to purchase? This is all cash. What exactly are you going to? What is the master plan? Any of you people that do these robberies, obviously, I really doubt the people that rob the Brinks truck is going to watch YouTube, but maybe they will. What is the master plan for those people that are doing these things? What's the getaway plan? All right, it was said it was shy of $1 million. They said like 700K. What's the master plan? What are you going to purchase? Because many of you that do these robberies, you don't think it through completely from beginning to end. You know, when you watch these old gangster movies, even when they planned to do a robbery, I don't care if we're talking about Oceans, when they planned to rob a casino, or any one of the gangster movies that I can't think of right now at the moment besides Oceans, and Oceans wasn't a gangster movie. But stay with me here. There was always a master plan from beginning to end, you know? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is this. I've said this well in the beginning of me starting this channel. It's complete lawlessness out there. There's no rules. Nothing's thought out. Nothing like the mob. And I'm not condoning any type of crime or illegal activity, but gone are the days where there was structure. Right now, it's a free fall. Everybody's doing what they want. There's no rules. Nobody listens to no one. Right? Children are yelling at their parents. Parents are yelling back at the children. Children don't even respect their parents. Children don't even respect elders. And when I say children, that could be anywhere from 13 up to early 20s. Because some of you just never mature. Let's be honest. We could act like because, oh, I'm 21, I'm 22, I'm 23, I'm a grown man. Some of your actions say different. And will some of you admit it? No, you probably won't. Most likely you won't. But what's the master plan in all this? So you steal that much money, and then what you're going to do? Half of the time, these people, they don't have the reserve to hang back for a couple of months and slowly spend the money. Most of the time, these people that do things like this, they get caught like this right away because they go and make outlandish purchases. No, they're not going to go get a Camry from the dealership. No, they're not going to get a Honda Accord. And not that there's anything wrong with those reliable vehicles. Most of the time, guys that do stuff like this turn up at a dealership like the Mercedes-Benz dealership, right? And they want to buy the best of the best. They want to, I don't even know the classes when it comes to Mercedes, but let's say BMW. They'll skip the 3 Series and they'll go straight for a 7. They'll try to get the M7 or something along those lines. I'm just bringing up an example. These guys don't think it through. They get the money, they lose their mind. I mean, by all means, sometimes they even jump on social media, put a bunch of bills to their face. We've seen this movie plenty of times before. It's an unofficial movie that some of us within our community take part in, right? And we all sit back. The ones that don't take part in this type of buffoonery, we sit back like, again, this is us on TV, right? We could act like we're not, that we won't be associated with people that do things like this. But when people do things like this, it's just another layer of mess out there representing us as people. Now, in all fairness, and let me say this for those of you who stuck this far, stayed with me this far. The guys had hoodies on, so I don't even know the race. All right, I don't know the race. All right, it's in Philadelphia, but yet I don't know the race. So in all fairness, it's possible it may not be a person of color. But regardless of the fact, that doesn't even matter. What matters is what was the thought process in doing this, right? You guys run fast enough, which means you're healthy enough to get a job. How about get a job? All right? And yes, I'm going to be that old head right now, sounding like an old head. How about get a job? Slow money, all money is not good money. All right? And that just came to me because I just recently saw a clip of Denzel and Spike Lee on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. And Denzel actually brought that up. And it's a true saying. It's an old saying, but it's very true. All money's not good money. So you rob a Brinks truck and now what? You think you're going to buy a house? You think you're going to just turn up and buy a house? Like they're not going to investigate where the funds came from? You're not thinking this through. What exactly are you going to purchase? And I'm speaking to the robbers right now. What exactly are you going to purchase? You're going to go purchase a chain? You're going to go on a shopping spree? They're paying attention, especially in that area. So, you look at the map, it's in the vicinity of that particular area. Whatever area that is in Philadelphia, it's not that far away from each other. So clearly the people doing the robbery, now it could be different people, maybe it's not different people, but it's safe to say they live in that vicinity. It's way too close, the robberies, to assume it's random, right? Now, I'm no professional when it comes to robbery, but if I'm going to rob something or a place, I'll do it, and I'm going to be in a completely different place from the place that I robbed, which means there's only going to be one dot in that area. You're not going to find another dot for miles, all right? And even then, the investigators are going to look into whether or not it's associated, because they're not stupid either. These investigators are smart. Brinks truck robberies are not something that's common. So if Brinks trucks start to get robbed, they're going to assume they might be associated. But no, those that do the robbery, they don't care. They just want the money with no plan. And trust me, you rob a truck for that much amount of money, it's going to be hard for someone that's poor to say, I'm going to spend the money slowly. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to think about all the things you think you need. You don't even live in a house, you're buying a lawnmower. You don't even have garage space, you're buying multiple cars and motorcycles or what you call it, a jet ski. This is the outlandish things that some people do when they pull off stuff like this. And I'm not reaching, by all accounts, I'm not reaching, because I've seen news reports where people got caught because whether it's not regardless if it's a Brinks truck robbery or some type of scheme that they did to get money, the people get caught because they get caught with a whole bunch of merchandise that they purchase, and they have no way to prove that they earned the money to buy the merchandise. Men, go out there and get a job. I know the money's slow. I know for those of you that live a street life and you're getting fast money, I'm not saying the transition is easy. I can only imagine how hard it is to make that transition. I've always made slow money. I've always punched the clock. I was never in the streets. I'm not here to lie. I've always punched the clock. So I could only imagine for those of you who are out there in the street making fast money, the thought of a 9-to-5 just makes you want to throw up. But you know what makes me want to throw up? The thought of jail makes me want to throw up. The thought of having to watch my back makes me want to throw up. The thought of a federal investigation by the FBI makes me want to throw up. Makes me nauseous. I couldn't even close my eyes at night. Some of you guys like the thrill of the rush of that fast money, or that, let me rob somebody. Let me rob a Brinks truck. Let me see if I can rob a bank. I'm sure there's a rush involved in that. And for some people, they yearn for that rush. But is it worth your freedom? That's the question. Is the rush worth your freedom? And my answer to that is no. The rush is not worth the freedom. But some of you will never figure that out until it's too late, and you just got the four walls, it's congested, and you're sharing a bunk. Something to think about. But that's all I have on this episode. We got to do better, people. We have to do better. We have to do better. What's your thoughts on all of this? Those of you that watch this entire episode, what's your thoughts? What's the solution? What's the solution? I say just get a job. And I know it's not easy, but start somewhere, work hard, and do your best, and you'll figure it out, as we all do. All of us didn't start in a great job. We figured it out many times over. Some of us had several jobs. All right? It's not easy out there, but it's not worth your freedom. I don't care what money, what dollar amount is out there in a Brinks truck or robbing someone. It's not worth your freedom. It's never worth your freedom. My freedom is priceless. Okay? I could have a low bank account with my freedom, and I'll find a way to be happy. I have my moments when I'm just feeling like, man, if only I had this. But my freedom is priceless. But that's all I have on this episode. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Again, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay honorable.